Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Today we are back with oxygen not included with the spaced out DLC. And the last time around we started to build our rockets, so let's jump right back into it and see what we can do today. And here we are exactly where we left off last time. I really wanted to build a rocket this time, and especially the interior of our rocket right here, of our Spacefarer module. But yeah, that is not gonna happen. Reason being is we need to start a rescue mission first. Our infinite storage over here has died, and I am honestly not entirely sure why. Did I put not enough water in? Is it a glitch from loading the game? I am not sure, but I just saw those two signs here, and that is not good. So what we're gonna do is we first of all gonna turn this thing here off. Let's kill it. Let's make sure we're not pumping any more stuff around in the base. And then we need to get back in here. Now, that's gonna be interesting, isn't it? We need to first of all deconstruct this gas vent right there. And then we need a liquid lock. And we need some suits. We need all sorts of stuff to make our way back in there. Yeah, the water here just disappears, and I'm not entirely sure why. We put more than enough in here in the first place. Yeah, well, we're gonna take care of it right now. So let's get started. We need some tiles up here, there's no question about it. And then we need to start building a liquid lock. And we're gonna just build it kind of like this here, that should be okay. And our liquid lock is built. I just put up here some insulated gas pipes. And over here a high pressure gas vent. That's what we'll need here in a second as well. And then we need a bottle emptier right here. And we're gonna plop it right there. And we need to overfill this area here with water. So it's not going to be a standard liquid lock because we want to get some more water into here. And we're just going to use our liquid lock to make that happen. So we're going to set it to liquid. We're going to set it to water. We're going to set it to number 9 priority and to enable auto bottle. There we go. Now we just got to fill a bunch of water in here. What we also need is a vacuum pump that I'm just going to plop right there. And then of course we need some power that I'm going to plop in from the top. That should be okay as well. But that is not all. What we will also need is a couple more tiles right here. And then in stations, we are going to find us the atmosuit checkpoint. And we're going to plop one right here as well. I don't want any dupe to exhale or whatever else they tend to do while they're in there. That is the last thing that I want. So let's make sure that does not happen. But for that, we will also need another suit. So let's build us one more. There we go. That should work. And now all this here is built. We are currently just pumping in a little bit of oxygen out of our infinite storage. That's fine. We are also going to get a little bit out of here, which is also okay. Not a big deal. We just need to fill it up once. But while we're doing this, I want to get us some aluminum. So let's see, aluminum or to aluminum. I'm going to set this one here to 20. I'm going to set this one here to 20. And I'm also going to set this one here to 20. I want to have 20 out of each one of them. Let's get us some. And our water here should be almost full. Yes, I think we can now safely enter our storage. So let's deconstruct this tile and deconstruct this tile right here. That is what we're gonna do. And as soon as the water level here rises, because we're pumping in more and more water, it will flow over, and then we just gotta figure out how to get the right amount in here. That's not gonna be a big deal. But why the aluminum all in the middle of this here? Well, while I'm in here, I might as well cool it down. That is a comment that I got. We're just gonna come through here with radiant pipes. They're built out of aluminum. I just gotta find the aluminum. Here it is. And I want to get them all through here. The entire storage here should be made out of those pipes. And then down here on the bottom, we're gonna switch over to insulated pipes. Well, actually, it doesn't matter, does it? No, it doesn't. Then we're gonna come over here and into there. And then we're gonna build it like this. Just like that. That's gonna be good. And now we just need more water. And while all of that is built on the other side, one of my subscribers, Patrick Johnson, made me aware that this here has also a big potential of failing. We have water in here, which is all good and fine, but the problem is what we are pumping in here has a temperature of, let's take a look at our geyser. It's coming out of the geyser at 150 degrees Celsius. So the water in here could theoretically evaporate. And if it can't theoretically evaporate, it will eventually. So what we are going to do is, currently we have actually a vacuum in here. We got nothing in there. So we might just build a liquid lock right here. Get in there, make sure that we build the same sort of cooling loop over here that we have on this side, and cool that stuff down before it actually goes in. So that is certainly something that we should do ASAP. The good thing is I can just turn off our vents here, That is another good reason why I built the signal switch. Our pumps are pumping it in here, but it's never going to reach this area. Therefore, it should not heat it up, and therefore it should not cause any problems in the long term until we can actually fix it. So let's get started with the liquid lock that we're going to build to get in here without letting any other gas in. I'm going to build that real quick, and then here on the bottom somewhere, we're going to build another cooling loop. Meanwhile, over here, the cooling loop is built and the water is now overflowing. So that is good. Let's get it in there just like that. A little bit more. Let's see how much do we have. Need to scroll down just a little bit. 4,000 grams, 4,000 grams, 2,000 grams. Let's kill it. No more. And then let's mop up right here. And then we just need to mop a tiny little bit in here. And when we get that done, we get it down to the appropriate amount and it should work out just fine. Now we have 6.2, 6.2, 6.1 kilograms. So let's get a dupe with a number 9 priority and get him over here to start mopping. And I'm just going to stop him from mopping in a heartbeat. Once he just mops for a tiny little bit, let's stop him. Let's see how much we have now in here. Over here, we have water 190 grams, 800 grams, 1,500 grams. And right here, we have 1,600 grams. So that should work again. Let's make sure that we get all the stuff out there that we carried in there, kind of like this here. And then we just gotta close it back up. I also don't want to lose anything. So how we're going to close it up is like this. We're going to build 2 tiles right here. Just like that. That should compress the gas back together where it belongs into all these tiles here. And then we're going to build 2 right here and close it off this way. That should work just fine. Meanwhile, let's see what our temperature does. It's probably not going to look as good. Yeah. Currently, all we're doing is transferring all that heat out here into the environment. The good thing is that we have so much oxygen in our base that we don't even know what to do with it. It says insufficient oxygen generation. Yeah, that may well be true. But at the same time, we have so much oxygen that we literally have no problem just leaving it off for a good amount of time. And here we have a bunch of natural gas now. So this here needs to come all the way back up here before it becomes a problem. So we're just going to leave it off. And we use that time to cool off this entire area here. So let's take that tile here, copy another one right here. And then last but not least, once this here is built, we're going to build one right there. And then we should be good. Perfect. This entire structure here, I'm just going to leave it be. Because maybe we will need it again in the future. Who knows? I hope not. It should be now good forever. But if you already have it, why get rid of it? Really no good reason for it. So we're not going to do that. And now we have it closed back off, exactly as that should look like. Our liquid lock is still alive. We're going to leave it here once again. And slowly but steadily, the stuff in here should cool down. It's currently at 63 degrees. Let's take a look at our liquid. We're pumping it in at 42. It's coming back out at 60 degrees. So it will be a little bit of time before this is properly cooled down. But once it is, we can turn our oxygen machine over here back on, and it should not cause any problems anymore after that, because everything that we are pumping in will be cooled by the lines here on the bottom. Currently, that's not going to work because we would just pump it back in at 60 degrees. So we're going to just let it run as it is. And we're gonna meanwhile take care of our natural gas storage. And now that our liquid lock over here is built, it is time to get in some water through our water bottler over here, or bottle emptier, better to say. And we set it to 9, auto bottle in water, and then we're just gonna fill that thing here up. And we did exactly the same thing as we did before, except we don't have to overfill it this time because we have plenty in here, I believe. Well, we could use a little bit more. 59, it's a little bit low. We're gonna make sure that it has a nice amount in there, so we're gonna be okay. Meanwhile, we're going to plop our vacuum pump back over here. Let's see if we have some power in the area as well. That would be nice. Yeah, of course, look at that. Wonderful. But this time we need to supply our own ventilation because we don't have one. So let's plop it up here. What's our pressure around here? Pretty high. Let's make sure we actually get that stuff out of there and build a high pressure gas vent. And we already created a vacuum. That was so fast that I didn't even realize what happened. So we're just going to deconstruct those 2 tiles right here so we can safely enter. And then we need to start building. First of all, our radiant liquid pipes, that has to happen. So we're going to build them once again out of aluminum. Where's my aluminum at? There you are. And we're going to do the exact same thing as we did before. We're going to come along here probably. Yeah, we're going to come into here. Going to come all the way along. There we go. Something just like that is more than sufficient. And then we can hook it up whenever we want. While we wait for that over there, I think that this here is a pretty decent setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a blueprint, and I'm going to say new blueprint. I'm going to say everything that we have, and I'm going to take everything that is in this area right here. I'm going to have one extra gas pipe that we don't need, but that is okay. We can take care of that. And we're just going to call this here cooling loop. That's all it does. That is all it is good for. So we're just going to copy it just like that. And then over here, we're just going to go to use blueprint and we're going to grab our cooling solution right here. And we're going to plop it somewhere where it's not that much in the way. We have this vent here that we have to take care one way or another later. So let's keep that in mind as well. And let's build it. Maybe something like this here should be okay. Yeah, I think that should work. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, perfect. Now we just need to dig all this stuff here out so we can actually get there. With my ladder, I'm going to come down all the way to here. And with my fire pole, I'm going to do exactly the same. Meanwhile, up here, let's see. Yeah, the water should overflow. It already did in this direction. We need one more bottle in there and it should start overflowing pretty hard. There it is. That should be enough. Let's stop it. There we go. And let's see how much suffocating. What is going on? Nated and 3 dragon. Get out of there. Priority 9. Do it. Let's go. Get him out of there. There we go. And nobody died. Whew. That's not a success in my book. But up here, now that it has overflown, let's take a look. How much water do we have actually in here? 7 kilograms, 6 kilograms, 5 kilograms. Okay. We need to do some high-speed mopping. First up here, so that doesn't cause any trouble. And then in there as well. Come on. Next dupe. There we are. Let's see. Let's cancel that right away here. We're going to cancel not just building, we're going to cancel everything. How much water do we have now left? 1,200, 1,400, 1,500, and here 1,000 grams. That is sufficient. So let's make sure we get that bottle of water out of there. And then we're going to close it off right away. And the last piece is being built. Perfect. There we go. And now we should be able... Nope, we first got to build this here. We need to have this here before we can actually go ahead and turn the gas back on, because the problem is still the same. Nothing has changed yet. We just filled up the water. But yeah, that is not everything, that's for sure. I already built a steam turbine up here, but actually it has to go because we somehow need to get water in there. I always keep forgetting about that. We need actually water in there. Not sure how, but it happens. So we're gonna open up a gap right there. We're gonna put some bottle emptiers into here. Let's make it 2 this time, just so to speed up this entire process a tiny little bit. Then we're gonna plop some airflow tiles right here, airflow tiles right there, and 1 piece of ladder right here. I'm not sure why I got rid of this here. Over here earlier, I got rid of our liquid reservoir right there. Yeah, that is a problem. I wanted to put my bottle emptier there, but then I reconsidered and put it right there. So yeah, there's that. But right here, we can put this one here back in. That's going to be good. And we're just going to pump our water up here. Put in a nice big cooling loop in this area. And then in this area right here, we're going to cool down our natural gas even more. And then we shouldn't have any more problems with that whatsoever. But first, we need to get that done. And then this one here, we're going to set it to liquid. We're going to set it to polluted water with a number 9. Enable auto bottle, copy settings, and go. That should be very helpful. We just need to make sure we also get enough power over here. Do we have enough power over here? 1200 watts, potential low current load. So only if all these here are running. Makes 2, 4, 600. The door is not going to be moving. Okay, so most of this stuff here is not that big a deal. I think we can put it all together on this one line here, and it should still be all right. I hope I'm not wrong about it, but there's only one way to find out, so we're going to test it. And now we have 100 kilograms in here, so it's time to switch our pumps over to water. Let's copy the settings and let's fill the rest up with normal water. And at that point, we should then be able to replace our tiles right here, our airflow tiles, with normal tiles. Come on, push out the gases. You can do it. There we go. And now we can just grab one of those tiles here and build 2 more on this side and 2 more on this side. And the debris that lands in there, we're going to pick up with this ladder. And then we're going to close it off for good. And there we go. That should be enough. Let's see. We have 100 kilograms here. We're going to put like 200 kilograms there. Let's give it one more load. There we go. And that should be plenty. We're going to turn it off. Deconstruct this one. Deconstruct this one. And deconstruct the ladder. Now we need to get some water into this loop right here. Let's see where we can grab us some water from. I believe we have a line right here. Yes, of course we do. That's wonderful. We're just going to grab us a liquid bridge and we're going to plop it right here. Doesn't really matter that much. And then with a normal pipe also doesn't matter that much. It's just going to be a very short, very temporary kind of deal. And then we're going to put it over to here and fill it up. Great. Before I'm going to pump the water in here though, I'm going to complete the loop with our pipes. First, we're going to build an insulated pipe. We're going to make sure that the heat stays or the cold stays wherever it's supposed to be. And then we're going to come up all the way to right there. And here I'm just going to build one big cooling loop. That should be pretty easy and straightforward. We also don't need it this strong this time. Iron is going to be enough. And then we're just going to come over to here, come back over to here. And we're just going to keep on going through this entire area up until the point where we hit this one here. That should be more than enough. Then right here, we're going to come out. Then we're going to come over to here. That should be okay. Let's see. Yes, that's going to be perfect. And just because right here could be in the future more pipes, we're going to also build this side here out of radiant pipes, just like this. And then right here, we're going to stop that, back to insulated and into right here. And then with radiant over to there. Something like that is what that should look like. And the loop was just finished. Let's take a quick look at it. This is just what it looks like. We're going to come all the way along here, all the way over, all the way there, and back down with the appropriate types in the appropriate positions. I don't think this here matters very much, but it's okay. We're going to do it anyway. Then in power, we're going to grab our steam turbine again. We're going to plop it right here somewhere. There we go. That's where it's supposed to go. And as soon as that is done, we're just going to make sure that we close this area here off, and we should be ready to roll. Also, can't forget the insulated tile that belongs into here. Also quite important. And up here, we're going to open it up, and we are now letting the hot natural gas in. There we go. Our cooling loop should have now something to do. That our cooling loop actually works, there's one more important part. Shouldn't forget about that. Let's take a look into our gas overlay. Yeah, all these pipes that are coming through here, all of those should be radiant pipes. Everything that goes through where our cooling loop is, at least. So let's grab us a radiant gas pipes. We're just going to build it once again out of copper, cobalt. We don't have any cobalt. Yeah, let's build it out of copper. And then everything that is where pipes are. And that would start right here. And we can come all the way over to right there. And then this one right here. All this here is covered by pipes. So good. All the way to right there. And then this one right here is covered by pipes right here. That's our output, but even that can be made out of radiant just to make sure to dump a little bit more heat when we send it out. Shouldn't be necessary, but might as well do it. And now that everything's working the way it's supposed to be working, we can actually close off this area right here. And then after that, this area right here. The only thing is this one here is producing so little power. Really don't know what I'm going to do with it. And it's going to take forever until it actually produces any power. That's the next thing on the list. So we're just gonna leave that hookup here empty for right now, and we're gonna wait and see when this actually turns on. We see our water is not even above 14 degrees. Temperature overlay, better to say overlay from our water. We're coming out with 11 and we're coming back with 12. We are gaining only 1 full degree. That's it. In here, let's see. Yeah, everything's nice and cool. Not a problem whatsoever. And we're back up to 70 kilograms of tile in here. That's great. Now we can pump it in and shouldn't have any more problems. And once again, I'm just going to leave this right here where it is. Shouldn't be a big problem. It could freeze eventually, but it doesn't matter. We can just dig it up and get it out of there. Currently, this here is good, so we can use it next time we need it. Only thing that I might do is destroy these 2 tiles right here, just so everything's literally ready to roll to get back in there if we should ever have to, like this one. Another thing that I want to do has to do with this area over here. Problem is really not this area by itself. The only problem is just that our water reservoir here that we use for our constantly looping water is constantly running out. And the only way that we are refilling it currently is with ice. And of course with a little bit of polluted water on which we are also low. So no matter how we look at it, we are low on everything. Only problem is that we don't have any other water source. And now you're probably asking, yeah, what the hell is going on? You have this infinite storage right here with literally 60 tons almost per tile. Well, it's at 90.7 degrees, so we cannot use that. Or can we? Well, we could try a couple tricks here. So, I'm going to build another infinite storage, this time with a cooling built in. Honestly, I have no idea how I would ever get back into this area right here. So unless you have an idea how to do that, feel free to let me know, because I can't come up with anything that wouldn't end in an absolute disaster. So the easiest way to get around this is to keep this one here as it is and build a second one just right beside it. Put the water in there, and from in there, all we're going to do is we are going to then transfer our water whenever we need it over to our tank. So let's get started on that. And we're going to build it in a style like this one down here. We're going to build it with manual airlocks. So we're going to build the first manual airlock, and we're probably just going to build it somewhere like right here. And then another one right there. And then right on the bottom here, we're going to build 2. Then we're going to come back up. Going to come back up. Come over. Going to come up one more time. And come over again. Now that this here is done, I'm gonna lock all those extra doors that we won't need. We only need a couple for right now. Everything else is okay. Then we're gonna build on the bottom here somewhere, maybe right here. That would make sense. Gravity is still a thing in the game. A liquid pump. And then we're gonna go into automation, and I'm going to try to use a hydro sensor to kind of control this whole thing here, but we will see how that works out. I'm gonna plop it right here with an automation wire coming to right there. We will probably also have to unlock one of these doors here. Let's unlock this one here, so the dupes can actually get there. And then back in plumbing, we're going to build a liquid vent that we're going to plop right there. And the hydro sense, I'm going to set it to max, whatever max is for this thing. 2,000 kilograms. Okay, so every time all those 8 tiles here have over 2,000 kilograms, we're going to stop the water that's coming in here. And if this system here doesn't work out the way I want it to, I can just turn it off and can just fill this sucker here to the brim and it'll be fine. And now that this here is built, and that is including our output pipe and our input pipe, I want to build some sort of cooling system that helps us with cooling the entire outside here as well, at least as much as possible, because that's certainly going to be helpful. So we're going to probably just come through here up to there, not connecting, then all the way up to right there. Then here we could build a bridge over, then we come into here. Here we're going to have another bridge, then we're going to come through here and back out there. That's going to be exactly what that should look like. And then we're going to build our bridges. We're going to build one here. We're going to build one there, and we're going to build one right there. That should be all right. So let's get that built. And here we have it. Now the water comes up here and runs through there. So what we can do now is we can lock all these here. Hold on. We have no power. Let's find us some power. What is going on with this wire here? 2,000 out of 2,000 if everything running at the same time. What about these wires over here? 1,400. Yeah, we can just use either one of these here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come out, bring it over to here, and then feed it into there. And that is what our power is going to look like. Easy. And now that all this is built, we're going to try it out. So let's go into plumbing. Let's grab our insulated pipe and let's hook it up to right there. And we should get it all into here. Now we just got to get the gases out. For this, we can lock this one, but we can also open this one here. And that's exactly what we should do. And now the water has pushed its way all the way to the top. All we have to do now is lock this door here before it overflows. That would be pretty important, but it has a number 9 priority. And now we have another infinite storage that we have to cool down once it's full. And now this is working as intended. We are at 54.5 degrees. And we are still, when we take a look, pumping in water at 30 degrees. And it's coming back out at 49. So this entire area here is now going to get heated up by our pipes. We can already see it. It will be a tiny little while until that comes back down. But that is okay. That is what we have it for. Yeah, there's nothing more to say about that. So far that's pretty decent, but now we need to take also care of our rockets here. So we have here a small solid oxidizer tank, the battery, the gas, and the liquid cargo canister. To fill up those canisters here, you can't do that manually. For that there's a special building, and I believe it's in the respective tabs. Yes, it is. Down here under plumbing, we have the liquid rocket port loader that needs to be built something like this. And then in ventilation, we have the gas rocket port loader, and we're just going to plop that right beside each other. And we need to, of course, build a little bit of floor here so it doesn't complain. And it needs power as well as an input, and that input gets then transferred straight into here. Up here we need several things. One of them is oxygen. So let's build us some oxygen up here. Let's see, we have 2 pipes right here that are both coming side by side, so we definitely need to open up a 3rd lane. Let's see how we're going to do this. Right here we're going to deconstruct you. And then we're gonna come with a pipe, with an insulated gas pipe to be precise. We're gonna come up here, and then we're gonna come through both of those, and then we're gonna build along the top all the way over to here, all the way up, all the way, come on, don't connect, and then all the way through here. That's exactly how we're gonna build this, pretty easy and straightforward. All the way up here till we reach the top, and here we're gonna wait because we're gonna build once again a little storage for it, just so we have a buffer and the gas does not sit in the pipes here. Even though we're oxygen, that's really not that big a deal. And the other thing that we need right here is of course petroleum, so we also need to come somehow up here with petroleum. So let's see how we gonna accomplish that. Where is our petroleum storage? We're gonna use the infinite storage for that thing right here, because currently it has no purpose in life, so let's give it one. Come over to here, gonna come up to there, come through, one over, come through, one over, and then through here, over to there, and straight up along here. That should be all right until we reach the very top, and then we're gonna come all the way over, and then over here, just straight up the fire pole. That should be perfect, not a big problem. And then once again, we're just gonna wait somewhere right here. So let's build two things. First of all, another gas reservoir. Build it right there, that should be okay. Build some tiles under it, just so we can use it as a little buffer. And then on top of that, we're also gonna build a liquid reservoir, and we're just gonna build that over here. On this side, we're gonna plop it right there. And then we're gonna build some tiles underneath it as well, just so we can have, once again, a little bit of a storage, so we don't have to have that pump on constantly. Then with our gas pipe, we're gonna come into here. And then we're gonna come straight through here, just for right now. Later on, we're gonna branch off right there, most likely. And then we're gonna come up, we're gonna come through here, gonna come over to there somewhere. Because I have been made aware that in rocketry, the enclosed telescope can actually see further than the normal telescope. Which I thought it would, but it didn't describe it anywhere, so I thought it couldn't. Well, sometimes it is just what it is. But let's hook it up, let's get this here done. And then we can do the rest of our research and see if we can find anything. So we're gonna do this one right here. And then the gas bridge, so we can finish this entire section. What happened here? We have barely any water left. We are at 90 degrees and these two here are gone. Yeah, apparently I didn't pay attention to that. We have potentially molten down our two wrap-out generators. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Let's get rid of this material research terminal right here, and let's make sure that we get some water in as well. And we're gonna build it from fresh materials that are hopefully a little bit cooler than what we have right now, so our water doesn't overheat immediately once again. So right here, we're gonna mop that up. Good that this is not a priority right now. The thing is though, if this here is true on this planet, it is also true on Mucula. So let's take a look over here. So this telescope up here needs to go. That's just how it's gonna be. And then we need to come up with some oxygen. What are we gonna do about that? I think we're just gonna build something very simple. We're just gonna build a gas pump here in this corner, which should be fine. A gas filter right above it, right here, which should be okay. Then a gas pipe. It doesn't even have to be insulated because we're just taking what we also take anyway. Then right here, we're gonna build an output. And then we're gonna come along here all the way to the top, just so we can then hook it up to our telescope. So let's build the telescope real quick. And plop it right there. Then ventilation, we're gonna grab the gas pipe again and bring it in. And now both of our asteroids should have the means to explore everything in our vicinity. That should be good. Meanwhile, back on Cellini, is this here built? Yes, it is. Good. So next on the list, we gotta finish this side here as well. We're gonna come into the input, preferably. That would be helpful. Yeah. And we're gonna come up through here, not like this, like this. And we're gonna come over and we're just gonna connect it right there. So that part is done as well. Now that this here's built, we can of course turn on the oxygen. Let's take a look where the temperature is on that stuff. 39 degrees. Ah, look at that, getting better. Then we're just gonna turn it on, pump some of the oxygen out and up to the top. And we don't need a hell of a lot of oxygen right now. We're just gonna pump up a tiny little bit. Let's take a look here on the top. Yeah, that's plenty oxygen. And here comes Chemster, and he's already on the telescope looking up into the stars, and we are just using a tiny little bit of oxygen to operate it. And it shouldn't take very long either, then we can get rid of it again. That's gonna be good. And now when we take a look, a little bit of time has passed. We are now down with our radiant gas pipe at 4 degrees, and the drywall behind it is at 15. So that's better, much better. So let's back to stations. And we're gonna grab us another material study terminal, and we're gonna plop it exactly in the location where the old one was. And over here, we're gonna grab us water, and we're gonna pump just a bunch of water in here. 200 kilograms, one load should be enough. And the water has arrived. Let's see, our material study terminal is at 28 degrees. Not sure why it is going up, because we are not using it. So that is quite interesting, but yeah, let's see how that works out. And now that that's working as intended, we can also go back into radiation and grab us 2 wrap-out generators and plop them exactly in the position where they were before, which is right here and right there. And let's see, the telescope here is also done, so we can get rid of the telescope, we can get rid of the power wires, just like this, won't need them anymore. We can also get rid of the oxygen, don't need that anymore either. We're just gonna vent it out into space, that little bit is okay, we got plenty of that stuff laying around. And once all of that is done, we of course gonna get rid of the entirety of this area here, because right now when we take a look, we're only at 110 rads, where we should be at 250. So this here is blocking quite a lot, more than 50%, so it's important to get rid of it. The last thing that we need though is water, so we will need another storage. Yeah, that's just how it goes. We're gonna build the one just below it, which should be okay. Gonna plop us another couple tiles down so it has something to stand on. And then we need to find us a water source. What could that potentially be? Well, pretty easy, straightforward. We have now, let's see at our temperature. Oh yeah, look at this here. That is now nice and cold, just as it should be. How's our oxygen doing? 33 degrees? Yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there. So very soon we can turn our system back on. But before we do that, turn down the speed. And then let's see. Out here comes our connection. We just need to hook it up to our loop here, really. That's all that needs to happen. So we're probably gonna do, well, precisely that. But how? How are we going to get over there in the easiest possible way? I think we can just come over here, down there, and we can come along here. This pipe here shouldn't even exist. Yeah, this pipe here shouldn't even exist. That's an old pipe to fill the loop. So we're going to get rid of it. That's going to be easy. And then right here, we need to bridge it. This is our petroleum line, so we're just going to bridge that one right here, just like that. And then with an insulated pipe, we're just going to come over and into there. That should be fine. And we're just going to put it onto our already existing loop. We want to fill it. We're just going to turn it on and pump it in there. Easy and straightforward, just how we like it. And that loop ends up right here. So what I want to do here is I am going to come with just a liquid valve. That's going to be fine. And I'm going to plop it right there. I'm going to put an insulated pipe on the bottom and an insulated pipe on the top. And then we're going to build it through here, through there. And then we're going to come straight up along the ladder, all the way to the top. The top is a pretty long ways away. And then we're going to plop it into there. Come out the other side. And then right here, come up with another pipe, follow along the bottom, and we're going to plop it into there. Just like that. Of course, we can't build half of this stuff, so let's build some ladders. One needs to be right here. Then we're going to come here through the middle. And then we're going to continue this one here all the way over, so we can actually reach the bottom part of it. Great. Okay, so we just connected in the pipes and I just realized a mistake that I made earlier. But that is a good thing. Over here, I did not put an automation into our liquid pump. There's no way to turn it off. So we just gotta pump the water out and we gotta wait until it's slow enough that our hydro sensor here can stop more water from coming in. And at that point, all we have to do is open the door back up, build in an automation wire and hook it up to a signal switch. And that should be that. And meanwhile, while we are pumping out this water here, let's take a look. Let's head to the star map and see what we've found. Ooh, look at this here. Cheerio. It has no unusual features. Wow, that is a little bit sad, but it has an niobium volcano. Oh, look at this. Now that's interesting. We have magma in it, space and niobium, and that's all we got. That should also be all that we need. So we're gonna send a little rocket over there and we're gonna see what we can find there. That's going to be interesting. But here we also have a wrecked space shuttle. What's that? Okay, we have a new entry and then there's an artifact in it. And what's over here? There's a sandy ore field that we already saw. Organic mass field. Algae, slime, dirt, and polluted oxygen is all we have over there. Interesting. We can definitely do something with that very soon. And now the first two tiles on the top are empty, so we can set this one here to auto and build this automation wire here, and then we can fill this thing back up. By now we have plenty of water over there. That should be perfectly fine. And now the automation wire is built. And now easy peasy, just like before, we can lock this door here once again. And that one here we can set to open. And then we can turn this one here back on. And we should be able to fill it back up in a heartbeat. Last but not least, I want to make one more big improvement to the base. Well, big is relative. I want to replace all these ladders here with plastic ladders, just so our dupes can move a hell of a lot faster around. That's definitely going to be a big upgrade and should improve the efficiency, especially when we keep going up and down on the ladder towards our space area constantly. Also the one that's going all the way down, I want to also make sure that this one here is good to go as well, because we also use this one here relatively often. Digging some stuff out, and we also need some fossils later on and all sorts of stuff. So we're just going to make the entirety of this length here out of plastic. Meanwhile, over here on Mucola, let's take a last look here. Area complete. Yep. So we can get rid of this here as well. We can also get rid of the wires. We don't need them anymore. So let's get rid of the entire length of those wires here. All of it can go just like this all the way over to here, really. Next on the list will be this natural gas gazier over here, but we need to wait until it is dormant. I want to come here and here, and I want to pump out all this natural gas right here, and also this chlorine down here, and then build a nice enclosure around it. But for that to work properly, it needs to be dormant. So we're going to wait for that, and then when that happens, we're going to jump in, and we're going to build it, and then we're going to use it for power production on this planet. It's going to be pretty easy and straightforward. And then slowly but steadily, we're gonna start to just dig all this shit here out. We won't need any of it. That's gonna be nice. And also this volcano over here. Eventually we need to do something with it. Currently we don't have a use for it. In a little while we will do something with it. I can promise you that. And now let's take one last look around. Over here, we built our cooling solution. Our water is still only at 49.9 degrees, so our thermo aqua tuna didn't have a hell of a lot to do, and I expected that. It's not gonna do anything over here, which is why I haven't even hooked it up to a power consumer. It really doesn't matter. So we're just gonna let this here run, and it's gonna do its thing all by its own. No maintenance required. And then over here, let's take a look at our water. Okay, our water is down to 39 degrees and we have just over 2,000 kilograms in there per tile, exactly as we would like to have that. That's great. And our overview, let's see. Okay, yeah, it's getting really warm again in this area here. But the reason for that is the water. The water is actually heating up this entire area. And as soon as the water cools back down, this water right here, as well as the water in our pipes, this entire area here will be cooled back down and nice and blue. It's just going to be an endless cycle. Temperature up, temperature down. It's going to be great. And then last but not least, our oxygen storage. Where are we at? 27.4 degrees. Now, isn't that something? Let's take a look at our water. It comes into the oxygen storage at 18.4 and it comes back out at 26. And by the time it gets back all the way, it's at 32 and it comes out at 18.2. Perfect. So I'm going to let this here idle for another 5 minutes or so, and then we should be able to turn this one here back on and end the episode. And now, after letting it run a little bit longer than I intended, well, it is sometimes what it is, we're down to 19.2 degrees. So let's turn this thing here back on and let's see what happens. Let's turn down the speed a little bit and let's see what our gas overlay has to say. So we are pumping it on the first pipe in at about 65 right now, and we're coming back in at 17, 18 degrees. Right over here at 17, 18 degrees, and over here also at 17 or roughly 18 degrees. This here needs to ramp up though. The temperature is still too low, so let's give it a few seconds, because first we gotta dump that stuff out that automatically lost its heat. It needs to generate a new oxygen at around 88 degrees, I believe, is the nominal. And now after just a few short seconds, our temperature is up to like 86 degrees. That is roughly around nominal. So let's see what happens on the other end. Right here, we are coming in at 18 degrees. Right here, we are coming in at 17 degrees. And right here, when we go all the way over, we are coming out at 15 degrees. And now we have a nice proper cooling solution for our oxygen that works just as expected. That is great. Now we are literally cooling down our base with oxygen. Once again, we did that before, so that's not new, but what is new is that our entire oxygen storage, all roughly 40 tons per tile. But I think this is a very good moment to end this episode, so all I have left to say, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and comment down below. What do you think? What can I do better? What have I overlooked and needs fixing really, really bad? Please let me know. Just like Patrick Johnson did over here about our natural gas storage, he was 100% right. The temperature would have caused mayhem over here and we would have had to enter it one way or another later anyways, so that helped out greatly. Once again, thank you very much for that, Patrick. But with that I say thank you and peace.